Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. Don't forget to check out our top 5 videos of the month in the description below after you watch this video, because today we present you the top 10 WWE superstars who had their replicas in wrestling. The old maxim, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, is just a nice way to excuse promoters' laziness when they copy a successful idea, hoping they can milk it some more. Here are the top 10 WWE superstars who had their replicas in wrestling. Number 10. The Blue Meanie. Yes, there are even occasions when one Blue Meanie isn't enough for the wrestling world. When TNA ran its ECW reunion show Hardcore Justice, the original Blue Meanie wasn't available, so TNA called upon James Tilquist to accompany Stevie Richards and Nova as the Blue World Order. Tilquist had worked as an enhancement talent in the 90s, but found work in TNA as a member of the tag team Phi Delta Slam and in bit parts such as security for the Main Event Mafia. Number 9. The Patriot. Wrestler Del Wilkes had a memorable run in the 90s as the masked babyface The Patriot, debuting in Global Wrestling Federation in the early 90s and working in the WWF during the late 90s. Wilkes retired after an injury, but the Patriot lives on, although not without controversy. Wrestler Tom Brandi, whose biggest claim to fame was playing Salvatore Sincere in the WWF, reportedly has appropriated the gimmick, despite Wilkes claiming he never gave Brandi his approval. If that's not confusing enough, the Honky Tonk Man is said to have claimed ownership rights, with his son appearing at conventions under the hood as the Patriot. Number 8. Jim Ross. Fans are still mystified by WCW allowing writer Ed Ferrara to impersonate WWF announcer Jim Ross as the character Oklahoma, complete with Ross's Oklahoma drawl and trademark cowboy hat. Ferrara even mocked Ross's Bell's palsy during vignettes, leading to Jim Cornette spitting in Ferrara's face in an indie show in 2002 when he saw him. Like many Vince Russo and Ed Ferrara ideas, the Oklahoma character was little more than a vanity project, serving no purpose other than perhaps to see how low WCW's ratings could go. In case you forgot, Oklahoma even won the WCW Cruiserweight Championship from Medusa, for God's sakes. Number 7. Road Warrior Hawk. As we all know, the world of professional wrestling scaled in the late 90s. WWE and WCW were so busy going at each other that they hardly had time to make frequent visits to Europe. Non-US fans were so desperate to see their favorite wrestlers in their cities, local promoters in the UK capitalized on the situation and started creating fake versions of famous wrestlers, staging tribute shows which featured wrestlers who looked and wrestled like their real counterparts, similar to tribute bands and Elvis impersonators. In this instance, wrestler Johnny South performed as the Legion of Doom, a tribute to Road Warrior Hawk. His impersonation of Hawk had some fans wondering whether this was the real Hawk, and if not, how they'd cloned a human being. South retired in 2005 and is said to have done well for himself. Number 6. The Ultimate Warrior. While we could mention WCW's Warrior ripoff, The Renegade, we're talking about the one that appeared on the indie circuit. Promoter Bob Reeder promised a mystery guest at his Dream Reunion 2 show that most fans assumed could only be the Ultimate Warrior. However, Reeder hadn't bothered signing the Warrior when he made the announcement, leading to him calling an audible. Reeder brought in rookie wrestler Dominic Yaniro, billing him as the One Warrior Nation. To no one's surprise, WWE Legal got involved and the Warrior himself made his displeasure known. Yaniro reportedly even received death threats and the obligatory rants from the real Warrior. Number 5. Doink the Clown. Doink was a gimmick that seemed destined for failure, but wrestler Matt Osborne played the role so well he got the evil clown over. An ill-thought babyface turn hurt the character, but the WWF continued using him, relying on other wrestlers to portray him after Bourne was released. Although Doink's been gone from the WWE for some time, the clown maintains a constant presence on the indie circuit. Veteran jobber to the stars Dusty Wolfe plays Doink on the indie circuit under a licensing agreement with the WWE, but imitation Doinks are the legal equivalent of whack-a-mole for WWE's legal department. They squash one and 2 more pop up. Other famous wrestlers who played this character were Steve Keirn, John Maloof, Steve Lombardi, and even Nick Eugene Dinsmore. Number 4. Razor Ramon. Whereas the original oozed with machismo, this half-baked copy oozed of desperation. showing how Vince McMahon would try anything to salvage the sinking WWF. According to James Dixon's book, Titan Shattered, Rick Bogner did a perfect imitation of Razor Ramon at an ECW show, playing Slice and Dice Ramirez. Unknown to Bogner, a WWF scout was on hand and relayed the information to Vince McMahon. The WWF introduced Bogner as Razor Ramon, part of an angle where a disgruntled Jim Ross announced he was bringing back Razor and Diesel to the WWF. However, this idea was stillborn and never had a chance as fans wanted to see Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Number 3. Diesel. The fake Razor and Diesel are two examples of why you never copy two popular wrestlers, particularly when they aren't masked. While it's possible to slap a mask or face paint on someone to conceal their identity, it was impossible to fool the fans here, who expected to see Big Daddy Cool Diesel Kevin Nash, not the guy who played an evil dentist. The fake Diesel and Razor Ramon did benefit Kevin Nash and Scott Hall, though, as WCW management learned that Nash and Hall were not under a secure contract, this again from Dixon's Titan Shattered, and signed them with a hefty $400,000 a year bonus. While this was another bad gimmick for Jacobs, it gave him time to keep his wrestling career afloat, allowing him to bide his time until the role of a lifetime came along in the form of Kane. Number 2. Sting. Fans from the Monday Night War may recall the New World Order's plot of using a fake Sting to confuse their opponents at WCW's Fall Brawl pay-per-view in 1996. The NWO used a fake Sting to convince the real Stinger's teammates Sting had gone over to the dark side. Wrestler Jeff Farmer played the NWO Sting to a T, even fooling the WWE when they included him on the back of a Sting DVD, confusing him for the real deal. Farmer's appearances in WCW as the faux Sting were limited, but he milked it in Japan, where he teamed with the NWO Japan faction, reportedly even getting over more than the original Sting. Fast forward to 2015, during a build-up to the WrestleMania 31, the Game appeared in the ring calling out Sting, and his wish was granted. When the lights flashed on, Sting appeared in the ring with Triple H. But on a second viewing, it's clear to see that it's not the real deal. Many speculated that the real reason for using a Sting impersonator is due to the expense of appearances in Sting's bumper contract. The fake one was none other than longtime Ohio independent wrestler Cody Hawk. Before we get to our number 1 pick, one honorable mention. Dwayne Gill, better known as Gillberg, will be remembered by WWE fans and the object of his impression, Goldberg. Gillberg was WWE's playful poke at Goldberg during the height of the Monday Night War with WCW. As Gillberg, he had more notoriety and even managed to snag championship gold, shocking Christian and the world when he won the Light Heavyweight Championship in November 1998. This might surprise some fans, but Gillberg actually holds a record in the WWE history books. He's the longest reigning WWE Light Heavyweight Champion ever. After a long absence, Gillberg returned to WWE briefly in 2003, actually just long enough to get crushed by WWE's newest signee, Goldberg. The lighthearted light heavyweight returned to WWE on the 15th anniversary of Monday Night Raw in 2007 to compete in a battle royal. In true Gillberg fashion, he was the first man eliminated. Gillberg made an additional appearance in 2017 during Chris Jericho's Festival of Friendship and was subsequently demolished by Kevin Owens. One thing that separates Gillberg from the original is that his matches are way longer. Number 1. The Undertaker. Mark Calloway's real-life cousin, Big Brian Lee, made a name for himself in Smoky Mountain Wrestling and seemed the perfect choice when the WWF decided to have the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase introduce who he claimed was The Undertaker. Lee looked the part and had no problem mimicking Taker's style. Recall, this was early in the dead man's career when he still had a limited moveset. When the real Undertaker showed up, the two clashed at SummerSlam, but the two wrestlers' styles and moveset was so similar it made for a boring match. The Underfaker, as fans nicknamed him, disappeared, but the WWE would revisit the doppelganger angle with Kane, achieving equally lackluster results. As you can see, there's fakery afoot all over the wrestling world. Are there any fake wrestlers we missed? Be sure to leave your comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. You can click here for more of our high-rated videos. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And as always, thanks for watching.